What is going on, traders? In this video, we're going to cover the Renko charts, and not just the Renko charts, but how I'm using the CVD, cumulative volume delta, with the Renko charts, and my strategy around it has helped me get really nice entries and allowed me to stay into the trades a lot longer, and also time reversals almost to a T. All right, so let's go ahead and show you. First, you're going to want to have the upgraded version of TradingView. If you do not have that, you're not going to be able to access the other options for the candles. If you need one, there's a link for it down below in the description. Once you have it, you're just going to click up here where you have options for your candles. You're going to hover down to where it says Renko. Once you have the Renko, you're going to go to options on your settings, I should say. Make sure the wick is turned on. Make sure it's on traditional, and the box size is going to be 2. Next, you're going to need a couple of indicators that are going to really help you out here. Let's go ahead and show you. You're going to need any standard 21 EMA, so you're going to need that. You're also going to need the one that says CVD, cumulative volume delta on chart made by TradingView. You're going to need Trader's Reality, which is also something. They're all free. As long as you have the upgraded version, these are all free. It is right here. Trader's Reality main, made by Trader's Reality. 8,200 downloads on that, okay? And you're going to need the VWAP with standard deviation bands. All right, that's what you're going to need. It's made by PMK07, 1200 downloads. All right, that's what you're going to need. Now, once you have that, your chart should look something like this. The CVD indicator that you're going to get once you download that one indicator I just mentioned is going to have this kind of chart on the screen. Now, you don't want it on the screen, you want it down here. So in order to do that, you simply just have to right click when it's on the chart. Let me show you what it looks like when it's on the chart. When it's on the chart, it's going to look messy. It's going to be on here. You don't want it there. You right click on this, you go to move to, and then you go to new pane below. Now it's here on its own dedicated pane. Much easier, right? That's all you're going to have to do there. Now, once you have that in place, you're pretty much good to go. You're not going to have to do much else, but you do have to do a couple of settings here on the CVD indicator itself. You go down here to settings, you make sure that your CVD resets at the first visible chart bar, okay? Next, you're going to have to also go to precision, and I go to most precise, covering the least chart bars, okay? And you want to have the histogram versus the line. Okay, you don't want the line, you want the histogram. You can play around with these settings down here. Don't really matter all too much. That's all I have basically going on here. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's look at the price action on the Renkos and what would have made me get into a trade, stay in a trade, and get out of a trade, and then re-enter in the opposite direction. So first, very easy, very easy. We have this 21 here. The 21 EMA is going to tell us whether the price action is bullish if we're above it, bearish if we're below it. Very simple, okay? And then we're going to figure out how to use the 21 period VWAP, which is this dotted line, in conjunction with the 21 to stay in our trades a lot longer. So let's go ahead and look at the first opportunity once the market opened at 9:30. 9:30 was right around here, right around these yellow candles, and then we didn't have any trades until we got here. Now, why did I isolate a trade possibly here? Now, one reason is because we had this big spike in volume here to the upside. Now, this kind of gets my antennas up, which says, hey, something might be happening here, because we just trapped a lot of traders long. We trapped traders going into long positions all the way up here, and accumulated in a big candle to the upside. Now, the biggest candle was this one over here, because this was the opening right before the opening. So this was a big candle. Then we had another big pop to the upside here, further trapping traders. A lot of traders here went short. They put their stops up here. So then what did the market do? It went up here, grabbed these shorts, and then trapped traders long on this second push. So what I like to call that is a delta trap. When you see something like this, you see two peaks very close in size. Usually the trigger, which is this one, this is the anchor. The trigger is usually smaller than the anchor. All right, it's usually not the other way around. 9 out of 10 times, it'll probably be your anchor is going to be smaller. So why did I choose this particular candle? So let's go ahead and take a look. First, we got that big spike in volume, heads up. Then we started getting some big volume candles to the downside, but I'm still not going short here, right? I'm still not going short. Why? Because we're still above the 21. Then we got a yellow candle, all right? We got a yellow candle here, which means buyers are still trying to absorb. But then right after this yellow candle, we got a big push here to the downside. Now this candle, this purple candle, which means this purple candle signifies that sellers are absorbing buyers. The yellow candles means that buyers are absorbing sellers. But we got a big push on this, right? After we trap traders long. Trap traders long here. Now we're pushing away from them, trying to get away from those traders right there so we can squeeze them. Now this candle here started at 9:45 and it did not end, that 1 minute candle did not end until here. So here is the first candle after this push here, which was all absorption. Now what do I do here? Well, here I'm going to want to go short for two reasons, or maybe three, because we got this absorption candle after we got this big push to the upside, and now we're under the 21 and we're approaching that 100 period VWAP. Right, that now things are getting very exciting. So what we want to do, well, what I would do in this situation is I would put in an order. I would go short on the market here. I would go to a short position. So since our first candle that confirmed was at 1046, that close of the 1045 candle with the open of the 1046 candle would have been my entry with a stop loss at the last attempt to go higher. So it would have been a 20-point stop. Okay, that's pretty good for 9:45 in the morning or 9:46 in the morning. You know, the market's pretty wild at that time. So a 20-point stop. Now, where do we take profits? Well, we don't take profits on this until we break the 21 going down. So as you can see, we're going to continue pushing this down. We're still in this. Let me move this over because I think we're going to be in this for a while. All right, so we're under the 21 still. But more importantly now, we're also under the 100 period VWAP. And as long as this 21 stays under the 100 period VWAP, it's a continuation. It's going to be a continuation to the downside. So we've got that. We're still in it. We're still in it. We're still going. We're still going. All right, now things are starting to get a little tight, a little scary, but still, we're still under that 100. So we're still staying in our trade. Still staying in our trade. Still staying in our trade. We would have stayed in our trade until right about here at 1037 when we had that cross, right? When we had this cross, maybe 1037 right there. So how many points was that? How big of a trade would that have been? Well, that trade in itself, right there. And I'm not just cherry picking. We're going to do a lot of examples today, not just cherry picking here. All right. So that was all the way to right about there. That gave us 161 points, risking 20. Ridiculous. That was a very nice trade. Now, let's just say that you got shook out of this trade right around here because we started breaking above the 21. Let's say you got nervous and you got out of it, right? Fine. No worries. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, let's just say we did that. So let's just say we only took about, I don't know, 100 points. All right, that's all we got, 100 points out of this. No worries. We're out of the trade. We're looking for another opportunity. We're somewhere in here. We got out around here, right? We got out on the test of this 21. Broke the 21. We got out of it. All right, cool. No problem. So why are we still looking for a trade and which direction? Because the market is still very volatile. There's still a lot of good movement. And we're looking for another opportunity. So we went still looking for shorts, still scouting shorts. Here we see, because we're still under this 21, right? We're chopping the 21. But more importantly, the 21 is still under the 100. Period VWAP. So we're still looking for shorts. So we've got this delta trap, right? That's a delta trap right there. We've got another delta trap, which could be labeled right here. Now, both of these could have been opportunities for you to continue going to the downside. Now, how would you have entered these trades? Obviously, this one here didn't give you really a clear signal to right about maybe 1016. You could have got into this trade if you would have taken it off this high volume red candle, and that's not a bad entry. But you would have had to keep yourself kind of a loose stop because it came right back up a second time with some volume to clean up any stop losses up here. And it would have shaken you out. It would have taken you out if you would have put your stop here. But let's just say instead of getting in on this one, you got in on this one, or you got in on this one and you had a little bit of a looser stop, maybe at the last area of possible liquidity up here, maybe at 2220. This is at 22,000, so it would have been another 20-point stop loss. Let's just say you did that. You would have still been in this trade because we're getting a bearish absorption. And then we had here the delta traps. And we're still looking for shorts because we're still technically we're still technically bearish here, right? So we got this opportunity. Let's say we got in on this one. We got the nice delta trap down there. We've got this big push to the upside, big flush, right, of traders' stop losses. And then right around this time, 10:19, we got a big volume candle, this bright red one, this bright pink one, big volume. And then at 10:21, we got this absorption candle, and it confirmed around 10:22. So at 10:22, you see that we're back under the 21. So this would have been another beautiful entry short. We could have been at 10:22. And what I love about this one is that it's a very small stop. We got 12.5 points. Let's call it 12 points, something like that. And again, we stay under the 21 as long as we can. And the 21 didn't break until right around here. That would have given us 72 points to the downside with a 12-point stop. Another fantastic trade indicated by the Renkos. Very nice. And they give you, the thing I like about the Renkos is they give you a lot of times earlier warnings than the traditional candles do. So now we've broken into 21 again, and we're cruising sideways. Now things are starting to get pretty tight here with the 100 period VWAP. Maybe we want to start looking for other opportunities besides just shorts. So now we're bouncing off 21, bouncing off the 21. Would we have gone long here? Some people would say yes. We bounced off the regular VWAP. This regular VWAP here, has a lot of orders. So this could have been a good place for you to start looking. What would have given you a good inclination to get in this? Well, first of all, we had this humongous flush to the downside, 3,000 contracts on this move down here, as you can see confirmed right here on this candle. Now, it's not a delta trap, but it's a big spike in volume. So this should raise kind of your antennas a little bit. And then immediately after that, we started getting bullish absorption candles that confirmed at 10:28 right here. Now, 10:28, that candle is now above the 21. So above the 21, big flush down, trapping trader short, bullish absorption. This is a high probability trade. Now, let's go ahead and look at what that trade would have looked like if we went long there. I'm not going to say they're all winners, but let's just go ahead and look at that 10:28 candle right around here. Stop loss right down here at this wick. Let's see how long we could have taken this trade. All right. So if you would have rode it up to the daily open, you could have got 38 points. If you would have waited for it to break the 21 again here, you could have rode it for 24 points. All right. So not a bad trade. It's still a winner. That would have been a good entry. You would have done all right with that one. But now we're kind of chopping here. The 21 is chopping the 100 period VWAP. So what do we do here? What do we do, right? So we're seeing that there isn't much going on. It's a little dangerous right now. We're not seeing major volume. The delta traps are getting smaller. As you can see here, they're getting smaller in size. But we did get another absorption candle here. Now, this is up to you, discretion, if you want to take a trade like this, a short from here, while we're still above the 21. I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably would have waited for a better confirmation. But if you would have, it would have given you a nice move downward, nice move to the downside. You got the absorption here. Probably not a trade I would have taken, but I'm just showing you that that opportunity is there. Now, more likely, a better trade would have been here for me, because now we're clearly back under the 21, and the 21 is clearly under the 100 period VWAP. There's a little bit of a push higher, trying to get up, and then immediately we got rejected, and we got another bearish absorption candle here. Now let's look at to see if there's any possible little delta in here to give us an idea. Well, the delta's not really there, but I still like to short. So here, let's just say that we confirm this candle at 10:45. Confirmed it at 10:45. Let's look for a short opportunity. 10:45 is right here. This is when it confirmed. Stop loss, very tight here. We keep the trade going to the downside. We hold it. Okay, we hold it. And if you were brave and you held through this pop above the 21, we could have still gotten some more move down here to 21,780. That would have given you another 100 points. But if you got out here, no worries. 61 points in that move. And let's just say that you wanted to re-enter the trade, maybe down here. Maybe you said, hey, there's another opportunity here. We have another bearish absorption candle here that was at 10:59 and confirmed at 11 o'clock right here. Another great opportunity. Let's look at it. All right, so we're gonna put that up there. And this one broke the 21 right here, another 24 points out of it. You'd be doing a-okay. You'd be doing good here so far, right? So far, so good, right? Now let's see, do we have an opportunity to go long now that the market is trending back up? Look at the 21. The 21 is now going back up. Price is now above 21. Big push here from the downside. Oops. Big push there. And let's look at the delta. Did we trap any traders short? Yes, we did. Look at that. We trapped 1,600 traders to the downside here on this last push. That means maybe we shook everybody out of the market now. Now we gotta start squeezing these shorts. Price is now above the 21. And I wouldn't have taken this trade here more than likely because we're still under 21. But look at the pullback. The pullback came in. And then we got bullish absorption candle. And then we have the candle to the downside here, a high volume red one. But then right after that, we got a moderate volume candle to the upside. So here, in this little battle here, I'm seeing that there's a possibility to continue going higher. Price bounces with this nice blue candle here. We take a long position right there. Check this out. This confirms at 11:10. Stop loss right under the last wick of the wherever here. Let's say under the 21, risking about 7 points. And then we just keep it. We keep it open until it comes back to the 21, which would have given you right around here about 42 points on that. Yeah, if you would have kept holding it, you could have squeezed some more money out of it. Obviously, we kept running higher. We kept running higher. If you were brave, you would have held it to the VWAP because more than likely that's where price likes to go to, and you would have gotten 88 to 100 points out of it, depending how brave you are. But let's just say you got out here. Could we find another opportunity right there to go long again? And the answer to that is yes, right here. We have another opportunity here. Remember, 21, still above the 100 period VWAP, so we're only looking for longs. Right here, we get this pushback. Right after this pushback, we get this 1123 candle that confirms at 1124. Bam, we go long. 1124 candle, 1123, 1124, right here. So we put our stop loss right under here, risking 10 points or so. We could aim it to the VWAP if we were scared, or we could let it come back, cross over our 21, which would have given us a little bit more, given us 50 points right there. Beautiful. Another beautiful trade there. All right. Now let's see if we have anything else going on here. It's not even 12 o'clock yet, guys. Not even 12 o'clock yet. All right. So now we're looking for possible shorts. Now we're under the VWAP, right? We're under the 21. And now we're back. We're getting rejected from the regular VWAP, the session VWAP, this green line. So we're under that. And now the 21 is under the regular VWAP. So we're seeing here a strong push down. But at the moment, I did not see here, unless you would have been, crazy enough to take the short above the 21. You could do that. Obviously, some people do. I don't see a trade here. I would have just been keeping my eyes open. So far, nothing. Okay, you could have possibly scored a little longs in here if you were to, maybe take one here up to the upside. But remember, we're looking for shorts because 21 is under the 100 period VWAP, right? So we get this push higher here, and it goes right into the 100 period VWAP. We get a small delta trap right there. Look at that little delta trap right there. And then we get a bearish candle right there. This bearish candle confirms at 1213. So let's go to get our short tool out. 1213 candle right there. Stop loss would be about 8.75 points. Now you could have obviously tried to max it out if you wanted to go for these sweep of this low. You could have done that. Or if you just wanted to ride it out and let it come and touch the 21 again, you would have got 17 points out of it. So nice trade again. Nice little base hit. So right now we're chopping the 21. When it chops the 21, you don't want to do anything. But now we're crossing over the 100 period VWAP. We get a pushback. Then we get this high volume candle right here. It confirms that, and then we even get the absorption. But if you want to be brave and take it here, you could have really nice tight long right there. Let's see right there. You could ride this sucker right back up to VWAP, giving you 30 points. If you would have got out of it early because it pierced the 21, you at least got a 1-to-1 out of it. Up to you. They're not all going to be home runs, but some of them do. All right, so now it's 1 o'clock. It's 1 p.m. and we're starting to see price get back under the 21. And now the 21 is under the 100 period. All right, so now we're looking for shorts. But then price comes back up. Now we're starting to chop here. When you see this, be careful. Limit your trades. You may want to call it a day at that point, right? All right, so we're just being patient. Now look at this. Now look at this. Price under the 21. 21 under the 100 period VWAP. This is the stuff that you need to look for. When you see the absorption happening here, when you see the high volume candles happening here, you want to enter on these candles. You want to go short on that. Because why? Because market's telling you. Read the market. It's telling you go short. So this candle, 1119 confirms that, 119 confirms at 121. Stop loss could be nice and tight. It could be somewhere in here, wherever you want. Let's say we give it, I don't know, let's give it 10 points. Give it 10 points just to be safe. Give it 10 points. And then we see this move down. Now keep in mind, Renkos do not have wicks on them like traditional candles do. They eliminate the noise. That's why people like to use them. And they do not move on time. They move on the amount of price action we get, or the amount of ticks that they take place. So this one you could have wrote it down until we came back piercing the 21 again, about 75 points on this trade, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Did I say beautiful yet? Beautiful trades here, guys. I'm telling you, so beautiful. Gorgeous. Stuff that dreams are made of. You guys, I don't know how you guys have lived this long without these Renko charts. All right, so now we're going to look right here. Price got back up to 21. Price is looking to go back above this 100 period VWAP. We get one more flush down. Look at that. Big flush. Get that big delta spike right there. Let's say now we're putting in like these delta traps all the way in here, like delta trap, delta trap, delta trap. Like we trap traders here, we trap traders here. Like there's shorts trapped right now, right? So we can see that here. Now, we get this move above the 21. 21 has an absorption candle right here at 146. At 150, not only do we have an absorption candle confirmed, but we also have a high volume candle to the upside confirmed. So that what we do here is we look for a long. Because why? Because we're above the 21 and we're aiming to go above the 100 period VWAP here. So we take a long, I apologize. Long. Trap traders, we've got everything that we need here to confirm this long. And we just stay in this puppy. Look at that. We just stay in it. Stay in this trade. Stay in this trade. Stay in this trade. Stay in this trade. 78 points back up to the upside. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Another opportunity right here. Look at it. We're below. We got rejected from VWAP again. We're below the 21. We see the absorption happening here, right? We're getting absorbed. What do? We short. That's correct. This confirmed at 248. Stop loss up here. Are you guys getting the hang of this yet? Are you guys understanding how easy this could be? I mean, yeah, retrospectively talking, hindsight trading, but I'm telling you, the chart is telling you what to look for. Longs, shorts, longs, shorts. You can increase the likelihood of your trade working out when you just pick the right direction. First of all, you take this trade here, guys, you're looking at risking 6.5 points, call it 10. This one gave you 34 points before it came back into the VWAP. Into the 21 right there, right? Crazy, guys. I mean, I think that's enough. I think it's already 3:30 here in this trading session. Not many good trades happen for me during power hour. But if you want one more, let's see if we can find one more. All right, chop sideways here. Obviously not something you want to trade. Chopping sideways, chopping sideways, chopping sideways. We are getting closer to that 100 though. Look at that. That 100's right there. We're getting closer to it. And what happens here? We get a strong push here at 353, 353, 353. It confirms at 355 with a very strong push. We trap some traders short right here, trap traders short right here, a little bit of a delta trap, I guess you would call it. It was a chop fest there at that time. I did see that price action. It was really choppy, but you've got this kind of a delta trap there, long one, but they're here. Dropping traders short. And then we get this push here with absorption confirming finally at 355. We go here with a long position. Now these Renko charts, remember, they do not factor in wicks, but let's just say they did, maybe give it a little more points, a couple more points, 14 points more or less right now. You keep that right back up to VWAP. It's crazy, Crazy, crazy. Another 61 points right before the close. Unbelievable. All right, man. I mean, if you guys aren't believers yet, then I guess you got nothing impresses you guys. Nothing. What's gonna impress you guys? Tell me. Well, you guys have asked for it. That's the Renko charts. That's how you use the CVD on it. That's how you use the moving averages, the VWAP. And yeah, it could be as simple as that. Now, granted, it's a lot easier to explain it in hindsight than to actually do it in real life. Everything's harder when the money's on the line, the heart's pumping, and things feel like they may not work out. But back test, back test, back test. You'll feel more comfortable when you're actually in a live setting. Now, I don't trade the Renko charts exclusively. I use it on a separate monitor, and I use it for confirmation for the price action I'm looking at. Now, I may, in the near future, switch over to just trading with Renko charts to see how I feel. But right now, I'm easing my way into it. And if you guys want to trade with us as we trade live every day, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell because we do go live every morning around 9:15. And we just trade until we run out of money or we blow our account. So if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure to join this channel. Also, if you guys want to get the best discount codes on all of the major prop firms, use code SMOOTHTRADER and join our free Discord, guys. I'll see you. There'll be a link for that down below as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to see my easiest strategy that I have on regular charts, go ahead and look at the video on the screen right now. I'll see you guys over there in just a few seconds. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you next time.